Welcome to Prime Time, everybody. I'm your host, Turner Chambliss, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chad and Carrie. How's it going, guys?
Going good.
It's going great. Very excited to be back. It's always great when we have not recorded in a while, and then now we're back with a very special review. Hunter, what are we doing today?
We are doing a special presentation of Weapons, 2025's Weapons, directed by Zach Creggers. I am super excited to get into this film because, spoiler alert, I love this film. This film is amazing.
Not a real spoiler, just
no real spoilers till later, but I absolutely love this film. I can't wait to get into it. So I guess I'm starting with my non-spoiler thoughts, and then we'll go around table.
yeah, let's do that.
All right, so basically, this is a film that works for me in a way that scares me because it's realistic up until a certain point. And even when that certain point happens, it's so over the top that I found myself having such amount of joy and fun in it. And what I love is that this film doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a great mix of horror, comedy, has a really good balance. So the movie is rewatchable, unlike something like Bring Her Back, which I thought was a really good movie. Don't have to watch it again because it's so depressing, so dark. This one I can go back to, and I'm excited to go back to and rewatch because I can't wait to see, the little Easter eggs, the details that, lead to what the ending could be. I love the nonlinear storytelling. A lot of films have been doing that lately where they kind of tell their story out of order, almost Pulp Fiction style. Love when a film can do that and it ties everything in. You see every character, meet up with one another. Plus, I love the message of, you know, the town, without getting into full spoilers, the town finding a scapegoat and having to deal with that, with this big tragedy that happened. The acting is great. Josh Brolin and Julia Gardner are incredible. Benedict Wong is great in this film. Absolutely love this film. My number one favorite horror movie of the year.
Nice. Carrie, thoughts?
Oh, yeah. This movie is so fun. I guess if you are watching this review but haven't seen the movie yet, I would definitely recommend going and seeing it while it's still in theaters if you're able to, or if not, just if you can see it with a group. It's just a really fun.
Support original horror.
Yeah, and also it's so fun. Like, comedies and horror I think are both very fun in theaters a lot of the times. And this one, like, it combines both and just makes it a really fun experience. Like, to have people jumping around you, but also people laughing. Um, and yeah, this one was really good. I liked it. I liked Barbarians, Zach Cregger's movie before this, but I like this one I think a little bit more. Um, and yeah, there's some really great scares. There's a lot of really funny moments. I feel like it's cool this movie doesn't take itself, I think, too seriously. Like, it's not really I don't think it's trying to be, like, elevated horror. I think it's trying to just be a really good horror comedy movie. And it really succeeds in doing that. But while giving us, I think, some of the best scares of the year. I would say it's not my number one horror movie. I'm still going to give that to Sinners, I think, for this year so far. But this is definitely my number two horror movie so far this year.
Yeah, definitely. When we look at someone like Zach Cregger from the Whitest Kids You Know sketch group, coming into the horror game, it still baffles my mind to think that all of these great, like, funny people can come in and just, like, make some of the best horror movies, and, like, ones that you just, like, when you didn't think, like, horror could continuously surprise you, and then you have someone like this who can continuously surprise you every single time, with not just kind of recycled stuff, but with new original ideas. And I think that's what Zach Cregger is so good at, is just kind of coming up with really good ideas. And I heard in, like, interviews that he gets so many ideas and he'll write stuff down, and then the ones that he can find good follow through and actually follow through with it, and could give us a beginning, middle, end. Those become movies. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to see in the future from him. But here, I think we just get like a really great original story, but with kind of like storytelling devices that we've seen before. It kind of feels like a fairy tale unfolding, like a children's storybook. I also kind of got
Mhm.
vibes of I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the rap album Liquid Swords, but that starts with a young girl telling a story about
Mhm.
samurai. And I feel like here it has like the very same vibe where you have a young kid telling a story, and I feel like that is often very creepy for some reason, where it feels like a young child telling a story uh, about something creepy that happened.
Mhm.
It's very unsettling, and I think like just very from the very get go, you're unsettled, and then the device that's used, the very like Rashomon style device of we're going to tell you the story from this perspective, then this perspective, then this perspective, and the way that Cregger and team are able to immerse you in this world, in this story, from different perspectives, and kind of like
Mhm.
not feel like they're stepping over like retreading the same ground over and over. It just feels so like fluid, um
Mhm.
that and uh it never removes the tension's never let up. It felt kind of like Long Legs in that way, where it's just
Mhm.
like a steady tension like throughout, where just even like someone walking out of a house is just scares the shit out of you, and you're just like, what is going on with this like one house that they keep showing?
Mhm.
What happened? And when they show you little clips of things that happened before and after, but then like wait kind of till the end to kind of give you the full story, I think is a really cool way to show the story. But yeah, you guys are right that I think this movie is actually very scary for a lot um of times. I think a lot of the scares come via like dream sequences, but
Mhm.
uh the comedy comes especially at the very end, but I think throughout too. Like when you have like the stuff between the policeman and the drug user, and things like that throughout that are pretty funny.
Took
um
me a long time to actually notice that that's Alden Elric,
uh-huh. Yeah. Oh.
the cop.
Oh, yes. It was. That's yeah, and speaking of that, the cast is extremely good. So yeah, there's a lot to this movie that we're going to get into a little bit later, but I agree. I think this is definitely up there as one of the very best horror films. I haven't like sat down and tried to rank anything.
Mhm.
I think that Sinners is a lot deeper of a film, and this is just a really great like story that just is told in a very unique way. That Sinners isn't told in that way, so it's just it just depends on kind of like what movie you're in the mood for. But I do think they're both very very great movies, and we will get to a Sinners special presentation
Yes, we will.
soon,
Can't wait.
because we've dropped the ball on that. We should have already done that. But
Yeah,
let's go ahead and get into the rest of this movie.
I
Hunter,
will say oh I kind of want to jump off of a point you said that I didn't
yeah,
think of until you said it. This does indeed feel like a child's like fairy tale book.
yeah.
And spoiler alert, spoiler for everybody, mostly because it has to deal with a witch summoning children.
And with that, we're
And
getting into the spoiler territory. If you
yeah,
haven't, if you
I said
haven't,
spoilers like 3
yeah,
times, so
you definitely did. I just am letting everyone know. Go check out the movie,
yeah.
come back. But we are going to be from here on out talking spoilers.
Yeah. But the fact that like I didn't put two and two together, and great pull, Chad. It feels such like a children's like scary story almost, because it's Hansel and Gretel. It's the witch,
Yeah, dude.
inviting kids in, to the house and things like that. And it has that mystical element to it that doesn't show up till, the back half of the movie, which I love that it does that. Because when you put two and two together, at first I was like, oh, is this like, almost a monster zombie movie? Because Benedict Wong's scene, I'm like, he's
Yeah.
looking kind of crazy. Maybe she's like experimenting on people or whatever. And then like, you realize, oh no, she's a witch, and this is witchcraft with the branch and the hair and things like that. Very creepy ritual she does.
That
But
Benedict Wong thing. What was that one?
so
What was that one movie we
fun.
watched that I think it was like a Korean horror movie? The Burning. Was that it?
Oh my god, no, it was
The Welling.
The Wailing.
the way.
Yes, The
Yeah,
Wailing.
yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that because that was like one of the creepiest shots of the movie. Is Benedict Wong's like wide eyes and just bloody face and just
And he's running like
he's
full
doing this
speed.
straight up arms.
He's doing the
arms.
almost Naruto run. He's like,
yeah. That's what all the kids are doing, and that's such a interesting device. It feels like how did that not become a thing before, where it's like just a creepy way of running it adds to the scares of the movie.
Exactly, yeah. But speaking of that scene, I do want to talk about when we actually see how he got bloody. That scene was so sad and so terrifying.
Yeah.
When you realize, oh, he's under the control, and he like attacks his husband, and he just starts headbutting his husband, and he doesn't stop. It goes for a solid like 30 seconds. It just continuously just headbutts him to the ground, and you're sitting there, you're scared and you're like sad.
Yeah, seeing how this witch like controls people from the beginning, because she comes in like seemingly very nice and stuff like that, but then it just takes a turn, and she just with a smile on her face is doing all this crazy voodoo stuff to people, and just the method of how she does it is very creepy, and leading to people stabbing themselves in the face, and is the even just like the verbal threats of I can make your parents eat each other if I wanted to.
Dude, when the dad and the mom of Alex starts stabbing their face with a fork in front of Alex, I'm like, this kid is traumatized.
Yeah.
I was like, at first I was like, why is Alex going? Like, at first I was like, is Alex the one doing this? Like, is he being bullied, and he's the one who's like, making all these kids disappear because he just wants to be left alone?
Yeah, and I think that's the brilliance of the movie, is that it keeps that mystery up, where you think it could be one thing, you think it could be another, and then it'll twist on you, and then like you're like, if maybe if she just talks to the teacher, maybe if she just talks to Alex, she'll find out something. He's like, leave me alone, and then you're just like sitting there wondering like the whole time, like, why wouldn't he just stop what's happening to his house or in family and stuff and all these kids? And then you see why, and you see the manipulation that happens, and he's just a little kid, and a little kid's not going to know the right thing to do in the situation. So,
yeah, I don't blame Alex at all, especially after seeing
hero.
what he saw. I don't blame Alex for going along with it.
Yeah.
You literally don't know what this woman is going to do to his parents.
Yeah, exactly. Any inputs, Karen?
Sorry.
I keep trying to pause a little bit so you can.
I know. I'm just trying to think of.
Do you have any other like parts of the movie that we didn't touch on that you liked a lot?
Oh man, I like the whole thing. It was just.
What about What about Josh Brolin's performance? Did you
Oh
think
my
he was
god.
Yeah, it was really good.
great? I loved him coming in as the pissed off dad, but then you get to see like the layers where
Hmm.
he then starts to team up with the person that he thought he hated.
Yeah. And I actually love that the main reason why Josh Brolin's character is like starting to work with Julia Garner's teacher character is because Benedict Wong just starts attacking Julia Benz, and he's
Yeah,
like, I can't let this happen, even though I hate you. Like, you don't deserve this. That
yeah, and
whole
there,
gas station sequence was great. Like from the outside to the inside, going around
especially because
the
like
drinks.
the convenience store guy like does not know
He's
what's
like, get
going
out of
on,
here.
Yeah.
and he's trying to shoot all of them, and you're just like,
He's like, get out of here. And Julie Benz is, or Julia Gardner is like, why don't you help me? What are you doing?
yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah. Uh, I said this in my review for Weapons. My non-spoiler review. Josh Brolin was the perfect actor for this role. Not only does he give this, this older father, kind of tough love father figure, but I think any other actor you might have put in that may have taken it into an asshole range. Like he's an asshole father. But I think with Josh Brolin's acting ability, being able to see him like break down in front of his son in the dream, and like, him saying, I should have told you all this time that I loved you and I didn't. Like those sequences that Josh Brolin can bring out, I think really adds gravitas to the character.
yeah, I mean, especially like me as a dad, I kind of connect with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's exactly what I would be doing. I wouldn't be able to sleep or do
Mm-hmm.
anything, until I found my kid who ran out the house like this. Um,
Exactly.
and going over to the neighbors, and even though they're uncomfortable with it, like, let me see your footage, and then basically making Justin Long feel super uncomfortable.
Yeah, Justin Long appears again in a Zach Cregger's film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
And
Which,
he
speaking
survived.
of Barbarian, this and Barbarian do have similarities, and I love it. It's the subversion of expectations. Like you
Yeah,
go into Barbarian expecting one movie, and you get a completely different one by the end. Same with Weapons. The movie starts off with a one direction, and then it completely like becomes another movie. But also the movie changes from the beginning, the first 20-30 minutes, all the way to the end of the movie is completely different, just like Barbarian. When in Barbarians, I guess spoilers for Barbarian, it cuts and you go right to Justin Long's character. I
yeah.
feel like when we cut from, Benedict Wong to the witch, that's where the movie Weapons completely changes, because now we have an expectation of what the movie's going to be.
Yeah, I like how it kind of like plays on your expectations, and then it like takes you to a different
Mm-hmm.
character, a different area of the story, and then you're piecing it together as you're watching it, and it's just it makes it really fun to watch in that way. It's also like just like a sick hook of the very beginning of the little girl telling that story, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just such a really cool. I mean, you get it in the trailer, uh, part of her like telling that story,
Mm-hmm.
of what happened to the kids, and they never came back, which
Except for one, Alex.
sort of by the end they do, but they don't come back, but some of them do, or something
that
like that.
that's probably the saddest part. Is by the end, you don't know how many of those kids actually survive without being like institutionalized because they
and
can't speak.
and specifically with Alex, I feel so terrible
Mm-hmm.
because like the kid did nothing wrong. In fact, he was bullied by some of those kids. um
Yeah,
and then he saves them. He saves his parents by not being like going and telling and stuff like that, but then they don't come back, like mentally, and then he has to go live with his aunt or something, and it's just
mm-hmm.
or another family, and it's just really sad because I love that shot of him like hugging his parents, but
Mhm.
you just want to see them together again. So I know that they're like Cregger's working on a sequel apparently to Weapons, and I'm hoping.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that. I'm
I heard he was working on a prequel. I didn't know he was working on a sequel.
maybe it's a prequel that I'm thinking of.
Because I think he said he wanted to dive deep into the witch and like
That's
her
right.
powers.
Okay. Well, because I was kind of hoping that if there's a sequel, that Alex's parents would come back to Alex, because I kind of feel bad about Alex and his parents.
I actually prefer Alex living with his uncle and his aunt, mostly because like I I see it as both a positive and a negative for Alex. Because positive is that Alex is gonna grow up in a loving environment. It's said in the movie that his aunt and uncle loves him and there's supporting him through this. Negatively, of course, he doesn't have his parents, but I don't know if his parents would be able to fully take care of him in the mental state that they're in.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like that's what I was saying. Like a sequel,
Mm,
they would slowly come back, and all
yeah.
the kids would slowly come back too and stuff. But yeah, Carrie, you have any other?
Yeah, I mean,
Thoughts?
we were talking about Zach Cregger kind of subverting expectations with like the plot of the movie. I think he's also
Mm,
really good, and Chad and I were talking about this on the way home from the movie. I think he's really good at subverting expectations, like just with his scares in the movie as well.
mm,
Like there's a really cool, I think it's like really the first scare in the movie, or one of the first scares, when you're in Julia Gardner's perspective, and he sets up a scare where she wakes up at night, she starts hearing something out in the kitchen or wherever, living room, and he sets it up as a very conventional scare where you have the door frame, you see the hallway, you're expecting someone to walk across it really quick, and you're expecting that
mm.
that's what the scare is going to be. Nothing happens, and then Julia Gardner kind of relaxes and lays back down, and the camera pans up and the scare is on the ceiling, and it's so brilliant. I think it's just such a fantastic, and there's scares like that I think throughout this movie and throughout Barbarian
Mm.
as well, actually.
That
um,
specific scare that you bring up kind of reminds me of a long legs going into Smile too.
I
yeah,
was thinking more Scream 5 with what's his name? Is it Dylan or is
Oh
that the
yeah, yeah,
actor's
yeah.
name?
Are you talking about Wes Hicks?
Wes Hicks, yeah, where
yeah,
like
Yeah,
he like goes to the
Fridge.
fridge, he opens it
Yeah,
up, nothing's there. He goes to the pantry, nothing's there. He goes to the living room, nothing's there. Then he goes to the door and Ghostface is right there
yeah, yeah.
behind him.
Yeah, that's a really good one too. Yeah, how they just kind of like play with the timing of it. You
hmm,
know.
And I love that none of these jump scares feel cheap. They're
yeah,
not like, oh, you're walking in a dark hallway and all of a sudden a cat just bursts through the door and you're just like, oh, okay. Like every jump scare has something to do with the story being told. It's not just a random loud noise being thrown
Well,
in there.
let me ask this because I actually didn't see it. Um, the little boy's face turns into the witch woman.
Mm,
it kind of just has makeup on it.
yeah.
Okay, and then it's
That's
like
that's the classroom scare where all the kids are kind of from the trailer. All the kids are
And
oh
it's Alex. It's Alex with the face paint on,
yeah, yeah.
which
okay
is actually interesting because I can't wait to rewatch this movie because I wonder if that teases the ending because this is kind of early on in the movie when we see Alex with a face paint on, and it kind of looks like the makeup that his aunt wears.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's Zach Cregger saying, "Oh, look out for this character, that
yeah
a character that looks like this."
yeah, and you see like little images of her like
Mhm.
around
When
Carrie
she like pops up in the woods,
in the woods.
it's
Yeah,
so funny.
Just like,
it kind of reminds me of Hereditary a little bit actually, of
It's
the
fun. Yeah, it's like
Satanists off in the corner.
or like something Art the Clown would do. Like I can see Art the Clown just
Yeah,
being in the woods, just like
but
smiling at people.
I'm wondering if you knew what I was talking about when I was talking about that one scare. when the little boy's in the bed.
Oh yeah. Where when Josh Brolin is talking to his
Oh
son through
yeah.
dream. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He
Yes.
just has makeup
Yes.
on him.
I think it turns into her face.
That's what I
Kinda.
thought. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I
Mhm.
confused which scare you were talking.
That's okay. Yeah. I saw him looking up
It, I don't. It might have
in
been
the
her face. I
classroom.
can't remember. I'd have to watch it again. But
But like that's me, is like Harry will just like look at the movie, and me, I'm always kind of like averting my eyes, like looking over here and not directly at the screen, or I have my fingers over my ear. I can't handle full on jump scares. Despite being a big horror fan, I'm just like,
How
I either
how'd
have
you
to like
ever finish Haunting of Hill House? I have no idea.
it's rough. There's a Flanagan really knows how to set up some
That
good scares.
that
Even Mass has some great scares in it.
yeah, it does.
Um,
That bed scene in Haunting of Hill House probably terrified you.
yeah. So like, if you have the audio and the visual together, that's what creates the scare. So if you break one of them off or minimize it a
Mhm.
little bit, then it helps. For
That's what I did when I first watched Scream. The opening, I just couldn't get past the opening for a long time. I'd be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is I think there's a lot of people who are like me that love horror movies,
Mm.
but can't really fully get the jump scares. Like, I just can't, so if it's a movie that I've seen so many times and I kind of know what's coming, I can handle it.
Mhm.
But like, The Conjuring, I can handle all those things for the most part. But then if it's something in the theater that I've never seen before and I just don't know what's actually coming, I gotta, So yeah, basically, Weapons has a lot of really good ones that
Mhm.
get you.
I think
If you're
it's
not
fun though
prepared.
too. This is another way he kind of like subverts expectations and the scares is like at the ending scene where Austin Abrams, who plays the junkie character, he like runs out of nowhere, and it's really scary at first because you know he's in the house, you know he's probably gonna run out, and he finally does it, and it's like a good jump scare. But then after Josh Brolin keeps beating him down, he keeps popping up and running to him,
That's
and
a really
it
funny
turns
part.
into a
Yeah.
really funny thing.
He just keeps getting up, and Josh Brolin is like, "Come on, man! Like,
Yeah.
what do I have to do?" Um, let's talk about Justine. So that's
Hey, let's pause real quick. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna go bring
okay,
our food in and blow my.
Chad.
I think it's doable, especially like if we're talking over it. I think it'll be
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
The one video that I was editing that was just really bad, I think, was because none, like, Carrie and I's audio wasn't very good, and we were like recording together, and I think we weren't using a mic at all. So I think it'll be
Okay.
better here.
Yeah, because it's like almost 100 degrees outside, even at nighttime right now, and I'm
We'll just
getting
have to
hot.
find like a good solution, like some sort of like, thing that can maybe reduce background noise with you. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll figure it
There
out.
should be. I'm gonna get me a mic here soon that has one of those like net things, like the background remover things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
If
let's go back in.
you want to go back into talking about Justine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually want to talk about Justine Grady, so the teacher played by is it Julie or Julia?
I think it's Julia Garner.
Yeah.
Julia Garner. Yeah. Um, I think she one great actress. She's
Oh
been
yeah.
having a killer year this year, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like just Fantastic Four and this one alone are insane.
Yeah.
And then she was also in another big movie, correct?
Wolfman.
Yeah.
Wolfman. Yeah,
Wolfman.
earlier this year. But I love her character because this has almost the Halloween Ends effect to me that I really love about Halloween Ends, which is Laurie gets
Mm-hmm.
blamed by the town, and this one the town blames Miss Grady, because she was the last one to see the kids alive, or before they disappeared. And it's just her class. Nobody else at the school goes missing. So I like when our main protagonist has to battle some sort of like oppression in a way, where it's like everyone is ostracizing her, or where they're like, "You're a witch," like, you
Yeah.
made this happen. Where are our kids? Literally, um, Josh Brolin's character literally like paints "witch" on her car, which another nod to the ending of the film, which I like that.
Yeah, I
I like
like how
that.
I like how they do stuff like that too, like how they show, because
Mm-hmm.
they never show him actually writing it. They just show
Yeah,
it on the car, and then they show the scene where they mess up the
he
order.
has the red paint, and
Yeah, painting the door. They like show the whole thing about how they messed up the order and why he has excess red paint in his truck, and then
mm-hmm.
it just shows the red paint and then cuts to something else.
Yep,
And it
I
doesn't
love
need
it.
to show him doing it. It just like
Mm-hmm.
has all those little puzzle pieces, and then you
Yeah,
can connect the dots. And I think that's what this how this movie is too.
which is great because it shows that Zach Cregger trusts his audience to
Yes.
put pieces together. And I don't know if you've seen interviews that he's been doing for Weapons, but I love what he said about the ending of Weapons, which is, I'm not going to tell you what the ending is because I want it to be open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Whatever you think Weapons is, that's what it is. And I love when a director can be like, I have an idea of what the ending means to me, but everybody else is going to be different.
I think that's like, you're basically at that point going full David Lynch,
Hmm.
where you you make you make something so crazy that, and then you go, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is, because whatever you think it is, that is what it is. And even though I created the thing, if I were to tell you about like what this thing is, and you have no say, well, then why the hell would you watch it? It
Yeah.
defeats that purpose.
Now, I do have one issue in this movie. It's not even a major issue. I wish we got more with Paul, played by Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
I, I
um
I just feel like he was just an asshole character, just to be an asshole character. Like we didn't really get a lot with him being, the a family man, for example.
I don't think he was a family man. I think that's the point of his
Yeah,
character. I think he was
but
just, shown to be like one of these what did it say, rotten apple cops, and just
mhm.
how, a lot of police, not, definitely not all, but a lot of ones will end up, making a mistake like he does, and getting in and just digging himself deeper. And I
Which,
love how they add that adds to
yeah,
the tension of the movie as well. Because like when he sees him like again, and then chases him, is like, I told you not to come up here. And then like, runs after him. It gets so intense, and you just see like the force and the power of the police.
yeah.
Um, it just
Now, am I the only one who kind of misunderstood that scene? Because like Paul clearly got a needle through his arm that was full of drugs.
mhm.
Like, I mean, I don't believe in police brutality, but at that point, when you've warned the guy, I mean, I could kind of see where it'd be like, he poked me with a drug needle. Like,
you
you know what I
can't
mean? Like,
you can't assault a citizen as a cop,
yeah,
even if you get poked by a needle. I mean, it's not like he stabbed him with a needle.
yeah,
He just had it in his pocket. And
yeah.
also I don't know. We're getting into the weeds of like the auditing the police's interaction here, with the citizen who may or may not have been breaking into something, but we've seen that he's a thief and burglar.
Now again, I'm not saying it was right. I just
Yeah, no,
misunderstood the scene.
yeah, it's kind of a thing, but I feel like that's um it's an interesting kind of take on like police interactions, and
Hmm.
how one thing can lead to something else spiraling. And I feel like that's the same with like the teacher. That's the same with the situation at Alex's house. It's like you can see like one thing leads to another that leads to a crazy situation that you feel like you can't get out of, and you feel
Yeah.
stuck. And I feel like a
I
lot
actually
of
love how Zach Cregger, in doing each of the, like the Alex portion, the Paul portion,
yeah,
like he gives everybody enough time to kind of flesh out the town as a whole.
yeah,
That way, you're not focusing just on the teacher. You're just not focusing on Josh Brolin's character, but you're focusing on just minor characters that have to do with the overall plot. Like, the person who was breaking into the building. I didn't think we'd get a whole scene with him, but I'm glad we did because he's hilarious. But um, he even ties into the ending because he's the one who finds the house and finds the kids.
yeah,
Like, I love that. I love that. Like, even a small character who would be considered a small character in movies like this can have a big impact because the movie's about a town as a whole, not just a few people in the town.
yeah. And that's the devices that he uses to further the story and have it
Mhm.
unfold in very unique ways, and how he's like peering in through the windows to break in, not to investigate. Actually, no, it was the teacher that peered through the window who first saw the people,
Alex's
but
parents.
then he broke in and saw them through the TV, and then
Wasn't it Alex's parents sitting on the couch?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he continues to steal things because they're not moving.
Dude, the saddest scene of this movie is freaking Alex having to buy chicken noodle soup to feed his parents, and
hmm
they're just not eating.
Yeah,
Like, it's so dark, but
it does get
um
really dark. Yeah.
it does get really dark.
It's the juxtaposition of like a children's storybook opening with just like a movie that's just so dark. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's why it's great that it kind of ends on a very funny note.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I guess, we can like jump into that scene real quick. Um, that scene is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Goes from where you're expecting something to happen with Alex. Like he's got to break, he's got to like do something, and he's the only one that can because he's really the only one that knows what's going on.
Mhm.
Um, and then when he gathers the materials to do the thing, and then breaks the stick, like as soon as he did that, I was laughing. I was laughing like
Yes.
right from that moment, and I feel like the whole like theater didn't laugh up until she started running from the kids, and I was like, "Oh, you guys just caught on to what's about to
I
happen."
I
'Cause-
love the fact that this movie happens during daylight because
yeah,
most of this movie, like, there are a few scenes of sunshine and stuff, but what I've noticed is when the horror stuff is happening, it mostly takes place at night.
yeah,
So this is a horrific scene that's taking place in the day in the sunlight, and you can see everything. You can see the kids like ripping her jaw, and it you it gets gory by the end.
yeah. They're all chasing her. It's so
Her,
good.
I laughed so hard when she went through the neighbor's door, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then it comes back when Josh Brolin and when
Yeah.
they run through, and they're like, "Really, again, another people?"
um yeah, it's a scene that like if you were to see that like first, it would just kind of like all the you need all the context from
Mhm.
everything else in the movie to have that scene be like both terrifying and the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Wasn't there
um
a scene where like the witch is running, and all of a sudden like a dude is like mowing his lawn, and you just see her in the background running?
yeah, 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 yeah. The way they show it is so good. And
Yeah.
I think it's just one of the best scenes of the year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, shoot.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, trying to think where to to come in on that. I think we're almost done, but
Yeah. Oh, can we pause it real quick?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say it was funny because I actually saw a brief clip of an interview with Zach Cregger earlier today where he was talking about how he wrote this, and he basically just wrote it. It seems like almost how we kind of view it in the movie. He wrote it like that. Like he started off with the story following the teacher, following the angry father, and he didn't really know how he was gonna like solve the mystery and what it was gonna be until he like started writing it, which is so interesting.
That is really cool.
I feel like so many times with these types of like a big mystery like this, you kind of start with the solution and work your way backwards. But just to hear about how he wrote this, and he wasn't sure if it was gonna ever be anything or if he was going to get it to where it needed to be, and like it was just really cool hearing how he wrote it.
I mean, honestly,
awesome.
it kind of feels like a storybook. It kind of feels like a Stephen King book in a way, where it's like it starts with a hook and then you jump to different kind of characters, and the different chapters would be the names of the person that you're following from their perspective and stuff. And
yeah, the makeup effects, by the way, incredible.
Oh yeah.
Like Benedict Wong, like his, as you said, his eyes popping out, being bloodshot, literally terrified me because I saw somebody running behind her, the teacher's character. I'm like, who is that? Oh my god, that's the principal. What is he doing?
Yeah, that moment, because they're just like sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden that happens. Yeah, so the way they keep you on edge, on your toes,
which gets me so
great.
excited for Zach Cregger's next project. Did you guys know what his next project is?
Oh, the Resident Evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he takes the makeup effects of like a Benedict Wong with zombies and like creatures like that, it's gonna be epic. I cannot wait to see what he does with Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'm on board for anything he wants to do. But another thing that I just remembered is you got a little bit of, like, I turned to Carrie in the theater, got a little bit of a David Lynch moment in this, when it shot above the house and you just have a AK or AR-15 above the house with the 217 on it or whatever, and you're just like, what?
I kept thinking back to that and thinking this whole movie was going to be like some kind of metaphor for like a school shooting or something. It really did not turn out that way at all.
That's actually that was a theory that people brought up, and then Zach Cregger was like, "No, I did not mean to make it like." That's the only theory he was like, "No, I didn't want to touch that with this film."
I mean, I think you could kind of see like parallels to a movie like that because of how, like Hunter, you were talking about the teacher being scapegoated and stuff, and kind of like something happened and so many kids are gone, and then the community just trying to figure out what happened and where things went wrong. So, and I feel like in a school shooting, that would be like the kind of same exact thing that people would be doing, is who's to blame, what happened to these kids, someone getting
this
bullied.
film could have gone that route, and if I'm being honest, I'm glad it didn't. I love when a horror movie has like an important message like that, but as I said, in my non-spoiler, this movie is so rewatchable because I know what the ending is, and I know how crazy and fun it is, and I want to go back and rewatch it. I don't know if it would talk about something as deep as a school shooting, if I would want to go back and rewatch it, because that kind of brings the entertainment level down and makes it more about reality, which sometimes is good, but yet you got to find a perfect balance, I think.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, you can have movies kind of be about something too. Maybe not have to be like, on the nose, because apparently, I've heard. I didn't see the specific interview, but apparently Cregger said something to the effect that this has something to do with alcohol abuse and the effects of alcoholism.
I can see that. Yeah.
And you kind of see, kind of how the witch is like a metaphor for alcohol, like destroying a family.
Oh
Um,
wow, I didn't think about that. That's
Something like that.
interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like there are things you could probably glean from it as far as like an overarching like message or an underlying like metaphor. Um, but I also like you said, Hunter, I don't think that this is something that you have to focus on or glean from it to find it a really fun movie. It doesn't beat you over the head with any sort of messaging or anything like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other thing I wanted to bring up? Oh, did we ever explain why the witch is targeting these kids? I
uh
don't think we have.
well, no, I mean really it wasn't explained. It was kind of like she told Alex that she was sick and that the only way that to make her feel better was to bring her things from uh his classmates,
Mhm.
and that she just used that as a means to lure them all to her basement, and then I guess she just wanted to make the town go crazy, like
I
do.
No,
I
so
I think it was implied that she was feeding on the
yes,
children.
she was feeding off the kids to stay young.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if you notice, in the beginning, she has like the bald hair, the
Hmm.
bald head, and she's kind of sickly. Then, as the kids go missing, she starts getting energy. She starts being younger. She looks younger. She's pretty much feeding off the young energy of the kids, is what I got from it.
Gotcha. Yeah, and see, I didn't fully get that on my first watch, and
Mhm.
so yeah, it definitely doesn't beat you over the head. It's something that you can like kind of like understand as you watch,
Mhm.
or think about it, and I think that's um, perfect.
One of my favorite jokes in this movie, I saw this alone in a theater. Perfect because I laughed. I was scared. I got to enjoy the movie at by myself. I laughed so hard at um the criminal in the back of the car being like talking to the cop being like, "You're gonna take that $50,000 for yourself, aren't you?" He walks out. He goes, "Oh man."
Yeah, yeah. It's I think it's fun to watch alone. I think it's fun to watch with the crowd because
Mm.
Carrie and I had a good time with the crowd.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think we're nearing the end of this discussion. I don't really think there's much else that we can touch on here. Um, really, really, really great movie. I think Cregger is just a talent that came out of nowhere. Like I knew him from one thing, and then he came out of nowhere. It's very Jordan Peele esque, where it's like, wait,
Yes.
what? What is this? And then
Yeah,
all of
like
a
the
sudden,
guy who's known for sketch comedy is suddenly a really good horror director.
yeah, and not only that, but like just like Jordan Peele, giving us great original stuff. Even if he does dip into franchise
Mhm.
stuff with like Resident Evil, I still think he's probably going to give us a very like original feel
Yeah,
to the
he's
Resident
gonna put
Evil.
his own spin on the Resident Evil
It's
franchise,
kind
which
of
I'm
like how Mike Flanagan did with like Ouija Origin of Evil, something
Hmm.
like that. Like it's kind of like a franchise type of movie, but like he
Mhm.
gave us like just a great horror movie, just on its own.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of
Man,
like
horror is in such a great place right now when you look at just
yeah,
the talent of directors: Zach Cregger, Jordan Peele, Oz Perkins,
yeah,
just so
yeah.
many. Dude, Oz Perkins, by
Ty
the way,
West.
Ty West. The fact that Oz Perkins has 3 movies out this year is insane.
We'll talk about that. I mean, we'll see if that's a good thing or not. I don't know, but I mean, he's cranking it out just like Steven Soderbergh is. So
Hmm.
hey, if you got a lot of ideas, you got a lot of resources, you can make all those movies. Sure.
It's just
Yeah.
crazy because he's had like kind of like 2 or 3 movies before last year, and then all of a sudden it's like Long Legs, The Monkey, Keeper.
Yeah.
Like he's just like on a roll.
Hey,
One after the other after the other.
he came out of COVID with just a lot of ideas, a lot of resources,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, he did.
So, all right. Well, I guess that's it for us. If you have seen Weapons and you want to tell us your thoughts, go to the comments, please. Just if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, maybe you skipped over all the spoiler stuff we went through. Tell us what you're excited
I
about.
really hope so. You did, because we spoiled the ending right off the bat. So.
Hey, some people don't care about spoilers. I don't know, but it's if that's you, that's cool too. Let us know your thoughts, and give us a like, give us a subscribe, and watch a lot of our other stuff, because we got a lot of great stuff on this channel. Hunter,
Yeah, like
close it out.
I am super excited. Actually, pause here for a second. Can we announce the 31 days of Halloween?
Let's
Or you want to wait? Hold off on that, because I was gonna be like, we have this coming up, and then we have the Primetime Awards next year. Kind of.
That's fine. Go ahead and do it.
Okay. It is 31, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
just 31. Let's not kill ourselves.
That's fair. All right, guys. So yes, we have a ton of stuff coming on the channel, including 31 days of prime time, where we go through each decade and give you guys our 31 days of Halloween, pretty much through October. Cannot wait for Oh man, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Hey, when that happens.
The awards.
Primetime award. Yeah. Cannot wait for the third year of the Primetime Horror Awards. The first two were so great, so fun. And 2025 is a great year of horror so far. So we're going to have a ton of nominees. So, guys, if that is an interest to you, please hit that like button, subscribe to Welcome to Primetime. And remember, stay scared.
And oh wait, did it not?